Philippe the Original. How did you? I guess they just know that we're here. It's Peter Dills. It's Dining with Dills Sunday Brunch Report. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or on SoundCloud, that's good. But try us on iTunes. And if you have a smartphone, just go to your smartphone and get that. It's the only purple button, and it says podcast. And type in Peter Dills, and you'll get the long format and the short format. Short format, what we're doing today, about 5 minutes, where I interview restaurant owners or general managers or wineries, and then the long format is about 45 minutes, and that's our full Go Country show. Today, I have the pleasure to be speaking with a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine. His name is Richard Binder, and you know Richard from Philippe's, and I'm sporting a Philippe t-shirt today. Richard, welcome to Go Country, and welcome to our podcast sensation.
Thank you, Peter.
All right. So what I wanted to do today is we could talk about the family and how you guys bought the restaurant. But what I really wanted to find out is, and I'm not going to mention the name, but there are a couple other restaurants in LA that claim that they came up with the original French dip sandwich. Now, I've asked you this question many, many, many times, and you've always humbly kind of skirted around the answer on who originated it, because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But on the other hand, we got to get down to the bottom of this. Tell me how the original French dip sandwich started, how it originated, least from...
As it's been passed down to us and through the media and the newsprint from the 50s, Philippe Mathieu invented the French dip sandwich, or he had this accident where he dropped the roll into the pan of gravy. And the customer that was there, he was a policeman. He said, "I'll take it anyway," and he took it and he came back the next day and he wanted a whole bunch more. So that's kind of the start of it. His grandson, though, has put a little bit more light on it, where he said it was a fireman, not a policeman. And his grandfather was very cheap.
Who was a policeman or fireman?
Philippe.
Philippe, okay.
Yeah, his grandfather. So he said that he used to keep the stale rolls the next day and use them. Well, they were very hard. So that's why people would ask to have them dipped. And so it wasn't quite possibly a happy accident, but, you know.
What year do you think that was?
They said it was about 10 years after he started, and he opened in 1908, so about 1917, 1918, around there.
And how long have you guys been here? How long have you... this is the second location.
Philippe sold it to my grandfather and his two brothers in 1927. About a couple years before the Depression hit. And so they had horse stables across the street from the old place. And he sold it to somebody else before them for about 3 months. They ran it into the ground and he bought it back, and then he sold it to my grandfather. He wanted to retire by the age of 50, and so that's why he sold it. They only had it for 19 years. And then my grandfather's two brothers, Harry and Dave, bought it first, and then Frank, my grandfather, joined him in 1940, and the three of them ran it until they had to move in 1951 when the freeway came through.
If you've been listening to the show on Go Country 105 Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock, and you can, hopefully, if you missed the show, you can go on the podcast. I've said a couple times that this is the unofficial sandwich shop of the LA Dodgers. I've seen a couple pictures online of people actually bringing the sandwiches into the Dodger game. Are they allowed to do that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
How does that work? I didn't know you could bring your own food in Dodger Stadium.
In fact, we got a special box that we, pack them in. And you just tell them, you're going to the stadium, and you can get them dipped, you can get them not dipped, you can get the au jus on the side, whatever, and you can get, the chili, and you can take anything up there you want. I'm not so sure about sodas and water, but the food is great. People really love it up there.
Yeah.
I've done it myself a lot.
Well, I bet you have. So a double dip, that means it's not necessarily that the meat's been double dipped, it's the bread that's dipped.
The bread is either single dipped is the top portion, or double dipped is both, the top and the bottom. It's a little soggier, a little bit more flavor. I prefer it wet or triple dipped, where it's like soggy.
Tell me about the au jus sauce. I know we did a thing on PBS about 2 years ago, but that's, if I remember right, 800 gallons every morning of au jus sauce?
No, not that much.
800 something. 800 sandwiches, I don't know.
We do about 2,500 sandwiches per day.
Okay.
And so we'll do probably 100 gallons a day.
All right.
Which is the drippings of, it's, first of all, it's the base. It's been boiling for two days, 48 hours. And then we add the drippings from the meats at night. And then that's reduced again the next day. And that's the au jus. So.
Okay, let's get off the menu just for a second.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about coffee. And I've said this on the radio a few times the last few weeks, and I don't want to get it wrong. So now that I have you here, what is the cost of a cup of coffee today?
The cost is...
I come in, I want a cup of coffee. What is a cup of coffee?
Oh, okay, it's 45 cents.
What was it 50 years ago?
Nickel.
So that's, I did my math, that's 9 times.
Yeah.
So a nickel, now it's 45 cents.
When we raised it, it was in the 70s. We raised it 100% to a dime. Mm-hmm. And that was right about late 70s. And we had to have a family meeting to raise the coffee at that point. Then it went from 10 cents, and then we lowered it to 9 cents because it started getting taxed. And then about 10 years ago, we raised it to 45 cents.
And it hasn't been raised since?
No.
45 cents for a cup of coffee.
And we use Gavina coffee. It's a locally made coffee here in L.A.
And the wine list, everything, it's about a 4.5 ounce pour for, you've got Prisoner.
Actually, it's closer to, it's a 6 ounce glass, and you probably get a good 5 ounce, yeah.
All right. Prisoner, Frank Family.
Yeah.
What else am I missing?
There's some new ones on that Andrew's brought on.
Right.
He's more Central Coast.
Okay.
You know, and so they're...
but the value's there. I mean,
yeah.
I love Taylor's Steakhouse, and they have good prices on their wine list, but you've got them beat.
Got a lot of Pinots now.
Yeah.
Chardonnays, Sauvignon Blancs.
Perfect for the summer. Well, the Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
And then I also looked, because I'm a beer drinker, and I saw on the beer list that Andrew's brought in some local and craft beers.
The beers have gone crazy.
Yeah, but you can still get a nice bottled beer if you're old school. And
yeah, we've got Budweiser still.
Yeah, well, you got to have Budweiser.
It's probably one of our slowest sellers is Budweiser, if you can believe it. But we've got 10 kegs on tap now.
Wow. All right.
So and we started with one.
All right. Richard Bender, Felipe's. Is it Felipe's or Philippe's?
I can say however you want. The correct. We always call it Felipe's. A lot of people call it Philippe's. My dad, who worked here 40 years, called it Philippe's.
Philippe's.
So,
all right. So if you're listening again on Spotify or SoundCloud, that's great. But make sure you check out my podcast on the iTunes network, and also if you have a smartphone, it's the only purple icon on your smartphone. It's the podcast, and we try to bring in people like Richard weekly. We try at least. And if you're so inclined, if you like the show, subscribe and also listen to us on Go Country 105 FM, America's #1 country station, every Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. Richard Bender, what is he? Oh, by the way, what's the address here? That would help.
1001 North Alameda Street, right near Alvera Street, Chinatown, and Union train station.
As Bing Crosby used to say, you can take a train or a plane or get in your car, come on down to Felipe's. The parking's free.
That's right. Parking is free.
All right. Thank you, Richard Bender.
You're welcome, Peter. Thanks.
You know, it's